Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for joining us. Today, we have something that may sound like a bit of a redundant term, but an upscale Rolex. This is the Yacht-Master. Introduced in 1992, the Yacht-Master was, in many ways, Rolex's acknowledgement of its newfound status as a purveyor of luxury goods to the jet set of society. It was also a bit of a laboratory, experimenting with new styling techniques that Rolex wanted to roll out in the Submariner, but at the time it didn't quite have the confidence to mess with that icon. The Submariner had been a special issue in the Royal Marines. It was the watch of James Bond, and you don't start making changes to something that hallowed without first testing the waters. So with the Yacht-Master, Rolex did exactly that. Now the key features of the Yacht-Master versus the Submariner are best illustrated by bringing in the Yacht-Master's little brother, a sub. Now on the left we have a 16622 Yacht-Master and a 5-digit 16610 Submariner. Now these are contemporaries design-wise in the Rolex line. This one does include Rolesium, which is a metal combination introduced in '97, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's just compare features. Here you can see the all-metal bezel on the Yacht-Master. This is made of platinum. This is not a glued-in insert. This cannot be scratched. It's not particle deposited. It's not anodized. On the Submariner, you do have that older style particle deposited bezel that can be scratched. On the Yacht-Master, you can see that the bezel is bidirectional. This is not a life-saving professional piece of equipment. The Submariner was designed in the tool watch phase of Rolex production, so the bezel revolves only in one direction. Better to be safe than sorry and shorten your dive than accidentally extend it by letting the bezel rotate clockwise. Whereas convenience rules on the Yacht-Master. You can actually move that bezel in both directions. Finish is another significant distinction. You can see there is polish on the shoulders of the Submariner case, but not on the tops of the lugs. And while the shoulders are squared off sharply, on the Yacht-Master you can see that polish extends all the way around, and the lugs are more curved. They're rounded off. They're polished and they're smooth. It's a bigger overall case. It's what would later be known as the maxi when it was adopted by the 6-digit reference Submariner in the late 2000s, but this style was really ahead of its time, not only influencing later Submariner production, but really because this style debuted in 1992, influencing an entire generation of modern, bigger, bolder, finely finished dive watches. So the Yacht-Master was really ahead of its time. And you could see that, let's get to that Rolesium idea, the bimetallic stainless steel and platinum Yacht-Master is an upscale look with a case to bezel to dial expanse that reads as one continuous sweep of metal. Even though they're both 40mm watches, in the flesh, the Yacht-Master looks much bigger, much more butch, bold, contemporary, whereas the Submariner of the period, frankly, it's starting to look a little bit vintage. Spindly, paired, almost delicate crown guards compared to very full, very rich, very robust-looking polished crown guards on the Yacht-Master. And the Yacht-Master clearly has the larger indexes. You can see the dots, the sticks, and the triangle at 12. These are bigger, bolder, both are white gold, but on this one, they're just that much more pronounced, that much more visible, and at night, because they hold that much more lume, they glow that much brighter. So you can see that a lot of experimental, modern styling features are already present in this 1990s Rolex Yacht-Master. It was kind of the Rolex look of the future, and again, it did sort of lend that maxi case dial and upscale style to all of the Rolex oyster case watches that came after it. And today, you can see that between the two, the sub is still recognizable as a sub, and the Yacht-Master is recognizable as a Yacht-Master, but this looks and feels like a watch of our time. This looks and feels like a watch of kinder, gentler times. So let's focus exclusively now on the Yacht-Master. Now this Yacht-Master employs the same movement as the sub, chronometer-rated Rolex 3135. It's an icon of the watchmaking world, very robust, very tough, automatic winding with a power reserve of about 50 hours. So what you're really getting when you opt for the Yacht-Master over a Submariner is that style, that flair, that refinement of a watch designed to be enjoyed above the waves, not below, on deck, in good company. And this watch is beautifully finished. You can see with the center polished bracelet lugs and the brushed shoulders of the lugs, The watch has a finer finish all around than its brother, the Submariner, and that finishing extends to the clasp, where it's polished on the center clasp. The shoulders are brushed, and that contrast is a continuity that extends throughout the watch. Now, the design of the watch incorporates not just a platinum bezel, but a platinum dial, and you can see that it's a delicate frosted aesthetic here, with a shock of red on the name Yacht-Master on the seconds hand. Very cool, very icy, very upscale. This is a great looking watch. It's not exactly a sports watch, and it's not exactly a dress watch. It's a versatile, elegant timepiece that works well in both, but is sporty enough to pull double duty at the beach, in the pool, or for that matter, on a yacht. This is an upscale Rolex for a new generation of Rolex buyer. By the 1990s, Rolex had become arguably the most important luxury brand name in the world, a household name recognized even by those who didn't know watches. And this watch was really an acknowledgement of that, and Rolex's symbolic embrace of that. This Rolex Yacht-Master is in outstanding condition, available from watchyouwant.com with the original factory inner and outer display boxes. An outstanding watch at an outstanding price. It represents the new wave of Rolexes, the dawn of the modern era in Geneva, and one of the finest of Rolex's modern oyster-cased icons.